This right here is my first ever camera. It's the Canon SL1, Rebel SL1, and I got this back in 2017. I persuaded my parents to buy it for me for Christmas, and on Christmas 2017 I got my first ever camera, and it was this 18 megapixel Canon camera, and I took many photographs with it, and I've taken many photographs with it, and some of them were on kit lens, but I also got this zoom lens with it, the Canon EFS 55 to 250 millimeter. It has an image stabilization. It's what is it? It's f4 to 5.6, so it's kind of decent. And I really enjoyed this lens. It has great focal length. You can zoom all the way to 250, and I liked it very much. But then as I progressed, I bought many other lenses, and I bought some vintage lenses. And actually, the lens you're seeing me now is the 50 millimeter f1.4, the FD one. And I would just like to talk about 5 things I like about this camera, and 5 things I dislike about this camera, like kind of pros and cons. And number 1, I like the quality. It's really good. When I say quality, I like the quality of the pictures, not necessarily the quality of the body itself, but I'll talk about that later when we go to the cons. And it's rather small. It's not like it's you know, like my pinky. It doesn't even fit, you know. So it's like if you take off the lens, it's, as you can see, it's kind of, you can almost fit it in your pocket, like maybe the pocket of your jacket. And it's very cheap. It's like, you can probably get it for like under $100. I mean, this camera is pretty old, and the Canon has made many other cameras, and I don't think anybody is gonna buy this new today. I don't know how old the camera actually is. I should have checked that, but I'll put it down here how old it is when it was released. And it's cheap, but it's reliable. Like, it has never failed me. It hasn't overheated. It hasn't, like, nothing. It works really great. And you won't really be sad if you break it because it's so cheap. So you can really just buy a new one if you. It's cheaper than any lens or like, you know, any new lens or anything like that. So it's really cheap, but it won't break your bank, and it won't break your heart if you drop it. And I actually have dropped it once and nothing happened. Only thing that happened was that this lens right here, the front thing on it, like the focus thing, it kind of broke, like this ring right here. I'll show you the B-roll, but it doesn't really matter because you're never gonna use manual focus because this lens is focused by wire, and I don't recommend it. It's not reliable. Another thing, number 4, it has an inbuilt flash. Let me see if I turn it on here, like here. It has like this inbuilt. Ooh, and you know, I can put the picture up on the screen. It's very. Let me take a new one. Let me see. Put it on AF. That's better. And yeah, the camera has an inbuilt flash, which is like, you're not gonna use it if you have like progressed. Is that the right word? I don't know. If you're like bought a real flash, you know, like an external flash, then you're probably not gonna use this inbuilt one. But it comes in handy when you're a beginner, and it's kind of just like, ooh, it's fun. It's fun to like look at this, you know. And that's a cool thing. It's a bonus. Not every cam has an inbuilt flash, and it's really fun. And number 5, it has the Canon EFS mount. So these two lenses are the EFS mount lenses, because EFS is dedicated for the Canon DSLRs that have the APS-C sized sensor, which is a smaller sensor than full frame. The full frame is really, it's really like, it's the full frame lenses are, they're bigger and they fit, they have a bigger image circle, so they fit a bigger sensor. This camera is a little bit smaller, the sensor, so you can use these EFS lenses, but you have to keep in mind these EFS lenses, they don't fit the full frame Canon cameras, the EF mount. You're not going to be able, as this camera right here that's in the background, that's full frame camera, and these lenses, they won't go on. You can't put it on, can't put them on. So you have to keep that in mind. If you are going to upgrade to a full frame EF mount camera, you're not gonna be able to use these lenses, but then you can just sell them or keep them or whatever you want to do. Another thing, actually that's the only, another thing, I could add one thing, number 6. I've never tried it, but you can put what's it called, magic lantern. Yeah, that's the software. You can kind of hack the camera and put this software on an SD card, and then the SD card inside the camera, and then you can like if you if you select this trash can right here, then you get like a whole new menu with like you can record for longer than 30 minutes and all these extra features that Canon doesn't allow you to choose, because they want you to spend more money and buy more expensive cameras. So I'll link down a video that I watched the video like 4 years ago, but I never tried using Magic Lantern. It's so you can record higher bitrate video and more quality stuff, and you can just, I should actually try it. Maybe I'll make a video about that. But yeah, it's kind of fun. So you can do that. Put Magic Lantern on the camera. But now we're gonna go to the things I don't like about the camera. First of all, I don't like the small size. I know it can be a pro, like I said, it's kind of a pro, but this grip right here, like, it's not enough. Like, this is just the SL2 and the SL3, the newer versions of this camera. They have like a much better grip. You can like hold on. It's just like, look at this. It's not comfortable. Like, it's it's stable and all right, stable. It's like kind of secure, but it's just not comfortable. So it's like small, and the hand grip is very small, and yeah, it's usable but not comfortable. Another thing, the autofocus. It's okay, but really, it's kind of slow. So I wouldn't really rely on it. I usually just manual focus everything I do, so it doesn't really affect me. But for some like beginners, you really want to have good autofocus. So like, it's so disappointing to take a picture and the focus is not correct. That's really boring. All right, so number 3, like I talked about, EFS. Smaller sensor. Like, nowadays everyone likes full frame, including me. I love full frame. I bought the Sony A7 II. Yeah, just like got it used, got a good deal on it, and just to try full frame out, and I like it way more, because you have bigger sensor, more autofocus, like shallower depth of field, and I like that. So yeah, it's a smaller sensor, but it's okay. It's not Micro Four Thirds, it's way bigger than that, but it's smaller than APS-C. Number 4, the video. The video is not very good, and in the end I'll show you. I'll compare it to this camera, which is the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. And yes, I know it's Micro Four Thirds and it has a smaller sensor than this, but it has way better video, way better. has a raw video. This like this has 8-bit shit. It's not good. Then the last thing, number 5, the screen. It's not flip out. Like, what the fuck? You can't flip it out. So yeah, I remember I was all shooting photos with my friend, and he had the SL3, and the SL3 has a flip out screen. Mine doesn't. So he was always shooting like this, and could just flip the screen out, you know, like looking down. But I had like you know, it's very uncomfortable to not have a flip out screen. So that's one thing. But not the EVF. Like, yeah, the viewfinder, I mean, is really comfortable. You can, yeah, it has a viewfinder. It's not an EVF, that's an electronic viewfinder. It's a viewfinder. So it's, yeah, it's cool. But yeah, but I would really recommend this camera if you just like on a tight budget, or if just someone like me who loves gear and buys everything that's just like cheap, just to like try it out and then sell it again. And yeah, it's very fun. It's really fun, and I've shot many great pictures with it. And you know, it's kind of cheesy, but the best camera is the one you have with you. So like, yeah, just why not just have this in your car or something, you know? It's like I'll show you. You've probably seen some pictures. I've probably put up some pictures that I've shot on this camera, but I'll put more photos just like right now. And yeah, let's look at the video from this thing. I don't have high hopes for it, so yeah. I hope I'm recording, because you know it doesn't have a flip out screen, so I have no idea if I'm actually recording at all. But on the back of the screen, it looked fine, you know, it looked all right. I hope I'm in focus, but you know, on back of the screen it looked okay. So maybe it's the video quality is all right and you didn't really notice a difference. But what do you think? Comment down below if you know the SL1 versus the BMP-CC 4K, which is better. Maybe I should just record everything on this one. No, probably not. But yeah, but thank you for watching, and I'll put some pictures from this camera just right now.